Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with a lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makak Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're going to go into, many great miseries, and are coming to the earth in these last days of the Edomites, the wicked, being in rulership. Alright, so we're going to start off in 2nd Esdras chapter 8. Let's see here. Second Ezra chapter 8 verse 50. Alright, and we're just gonna go into some, few current events that's happening around the world. Just to, give the hopeful elect out there a spiritual update of, what's going on right now around the world. And we're gonna tie it to the scriptures just to inform you. This is, give you that spiritual update. Let you know what's going on right now, but we're gonna tie it and link it to the scriptures, because that's what we teachers of Yahweh Shem Shai, it's what we do. We don't just tell you the news. We'll link it with the scriptures to let you know that these are indeed facts, and this is what the Lord told us. 2nd Ezra chapter 8 verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. From the top, many great miseries. So there's many great miseries coming here. Okay, you see, there's anarchy gonna start real fast. You see that there's a lot of people already at these Walmarts. If you're paying attention with these alternative news media. Alright, there's a lot of people already looting because of the, like the SNAP benefits and all that. They're already starting that, because this society is, it's monkey see, monkey do. Once these degenerates see a couple people, stealing and doing that and say, oh, it's okay online, then they all follow each other. So you're seeing that happen right now. These people are acting retarded. Another thing you have going on right now is, Russia is sending out their nuclear Poseidon, which is it's a nuclear powered submarine that creates tidal waves. So that's something that's major. You imagine how powerful these weapons are. That these nations have, but can you imagine they can create like tsunamis and tidal waves? They're gonna destroy all, big parts of these major cities. Because remember, this World War III, these superpowers, these powerful nations around the world, they got heavy artillery. Remember, it's not like World War I and World War II. World War III. These wars that are coming up, remember, it's just, these nations are just going to keep on bringing out, the more we go into this thing, they're just going to be bringing out the bigger guns and the bigger guns and the bigger guns until those nukes are actually pressed. You see, so we're about to see some major destruction and devastation out here. Imagine that, they can just throw, they have the nuclear powered submarine, and that could just create tidal waves, tsunamis, and that'll wipe out whole cities. A huge old wave. Imagine that just go into a city. That'll take people out. That'll take everything out. Imagine, power, cars. Just imagine that. Just that would just take out man. So this is what we're entering. Another thing, with the U.S., You know, they've been going inside, Venezuela, right? That's what you see right now happening, because Trump wants to take out their leader. But also now they're starting, the U.S. is starting another war with Nigeria, you know? They're starting another war with Nigeria, which is like, damn, you see? But so it's beautiful to us because it's just all this, the word that people use out there is, chaos and war. But it's beautiful because, remember that these leaders around the world, they're not stopping. They may say stuff like, "Oh, we're pursuing peace," but there's no sign of it. If you look around the world, there's nothing but escalation. Over there in Ukraine, it hasn't stopped. You know, over there in Hamas, it hasn't stopped. It's just it don't stop. Second Esdras chapter 8 verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And the Lord hates pride. Pride is an abomination. All right, let's get it. All right, because right here, a lot of these Babylonians, aka Americans, say, "Oh, I'm a proud American," because they're proud. They're they don't even know that they're a slave. Part of this corporation. And they're proud. They're proud of that. So we're gonna. Oh shit. There it is. Just to show you guys that the Lord hates pride. We're gonna show you by using the scriptures. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. See that? Because you're proud and puffed up. Because you think that it's all about you. You think it's all about, you don't give no reverence to the Lord. You think it's all about you. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. See? All right. So, the Lord hates pride. Just to show you guys, especially who are new to this thing, just humble yourself down. Okay, humble yourself down. Be humble and lowly, because especially you Israelites out there. All right, just first and foremost, we're over here in captivity because we messed up as a nation. All right, because we stopped obeying the law, statutes, commandments. This is the reason why we're in this predicament. Okay, yes, it's education, but you gotta remember, we went off as a nation. See, so there's no room for you to be proud and puffed up, especially if you're a slave. There's nothing worse than a proud slave. I mean, you're a slave and you're proud about it. See, that's one stupid mother trucker right there. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 18. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. See that? Because you're you think it's all you don't want to be like that. Okay? You don't want to be like these you see, an example is like these celebrities. See how they think it's all about them, and they're all proud and puffed up. All right, Cardi B, man, Cardi B is completely destroyed, man. Uh, Man, she totally has, her fake behind and fake lips, and man, she looks like a complete. Man, she looks terrible. She looks worse than a clown. Like, what the heck? See, but this place will destroy you. Man, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Okay. Second Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. this know also. So you gotta know this. You gotta understand this. That in the last days, which is right now, it doesn't mean that the world's gonna explode. Okay. Oh, this Donald Trump made a comment. He said there was something on this headline that said on this news update that said that Trump said that, oh, they got enough nukes to blow up the planet, the world 150 times. Ain't gonna blow up anything. Yeah, they may go to they may go to you know fight against Russia. They're talking about, because there's still high tensions between China, because China's about to invade Taiwan, and the U.S. is saying you better not. I mean, the U.S. has right now problems with everybody, you know, and these other nations, you think they're gonna listen? Nah, because they're backed up by China's backed up by Russia, North Korea, Iran, and their other allies. So they don't give a damn what the U.S. says. So they're gonna do whatever they want. you know because every time you have like a peace treaty or a ceasefire, how long does that last before they start bombing the shit out of each other again? All right, because we're in that time right now where no one cares about each other. Yeah, they may say something on TV and say, oh, we're pursuing peace and all that. It ain't gonna happen. All right, just look around the world. Has these small proxy wars died down? Man, hell no. These things are just escalating. Every week. It's like, all right, couple weeks ago, it's like, all right, they're going in. The U.S. is going in Venezuela. Okay, a couple days ago, now what's going on? Oh, all right, now they're going in with Nigeria. Like shit, it's nonstop. It's like, all right, well, let's see who's next week. It's the whole world. The Lord is raising up the whole world against America. Look around, you'll see how much tension there is. North Korea, China, even their own allies in NATO are like, hey, forget America. And that's in Revelation chapter 17. Okay, that tells us that the beast shall hate the whore. The beast is NATO and the EU. The whore is America. You see? So that, comment that Trump made, he said that, he said that, yeah, there's enough nukes to destroy the planet 150 times. It don't matter. Okay, they're not going to destroy the planet. Okay, the world, because this is not his planet. There are a lot of nukes out there. You see, that just goes to show you that this World War III is, by him making that statement, their tongues shall fall upon themselves, because he just pretty much, let you know that there's so many nukes out there. Because there are, these nations, remember, what they tell you guys in the main news media, that, oh, okay, America has this much and Russia has that much. Remember, it's a lie. They got way more than what they're telling you. They're not going to, no military is going to tell you exactly what they have. That's just giving them, their power away. Why would they tell themselves? No military is going to tell you exactly what they got. No, because the whole thing about war is intel. That's like one of the major reasons, and one of the main important things in war is intel. So they're not going to tell you exactly what they have. Why would they tell on themselves? So no, especially, big old nations going to tell you exactly what they have. They're always going to hide the good shit. There's always going to be secrets. They're always going to hide the good shit. They're not going to tell you exactly what they have. Why would they do that? See? But that just lets you know right there. Because I saw that the other day, and man, I was going to take a screenshot of it. But yeah, Donald Trump, he said that there's enough nukes to destroy the world 150 times. See? But that just goes to show you that, first of all, Donald Trump ain't going to destroy the world. Yeah, they're going to fire ICBMs on each other, but, depending if Donald Trump makes it past World War III, either way, if he don't make it, he's gonna be resurrected. He's going to be, there's something called reincarnation, okay? Because he's gonna be reborn, okay? He's gonna be reborn in slavery, And if he does make it, and survives in like an underground bunker, Yahweh Shai and the angels are gonna grab him. You know? Oh, absolutely. But I don't think so, because there's, Trump has so many enemies. How long you think he's gonna last? Really? What, he got his own generals calling them traitors, and he got so many enemies around the world, and he's over here talking to NATO too, like he don't give a shit either. He got his own Babylonians trying to assassinate him. You see? All right, how long you think this man's gonna last? He already had a few assassination attempts. How long you think this man's gonna last? You know? You see, he's a wanted man by many. You know? See? And he still walks around like, oh, I don't give a damn. Shit. You know? You see? So this is but by him making that comment, remember, no one's gonna destroy the whole world. Yeah, there may be nations out there that may destroy parts of the land masses, but no one's gonna destroy the world. It's gonna remain here forever. All right, and I don't care what anybody says out there. The Lord already said that. So the Lord controls, and plus these missiles, they don't belong to these militaries. They belong to the Lord. See, but they're so proud and puffed up. They think, oh yeah, we got the power, and this is us. No, it ain't. You know. See, the Lord and the angels have control of that. Big time. Second Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. So let's get that definition for perilous. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, so right here it's the definition for perilous. All right, it means right here. Okay, let's get it. The meaning is involving or full of great risk. All right, so perilous times. This is what it means. Check it out. Involving or full of great risk, danger or exposure to harm or injury, dangerous, hazardous, threatening, risky, exposed, vulnerable. Huh? Check this out. Often used in a formal or literally context to describe something extremely dangerous. That's the time that we're entering. Wars and rumors of wars. This is all that we're hearing. Let's go to St. Matthew. Let's just get it. St. Matthew chapter 24. Okay, 24, verse 7, 6 through 8. 6 on down. Let's see where the Spirit takes us from here. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. That means reports. This is what we're seeing right now. Things are going to escalate with Venezuela. But who has Venezuela's back? Russia, because Russia's been there for a while. And that's something that's getting heightened right now. That's not like something just lightly. That's getting, that is a very real thing right now that's happening. The U.S. and Venezuela, that thing's getting heated up. Remember, and Russia they've been there. You know, so they have soldiers already there. You know, they have, you know, nuclear submarines there too. They have, and who knows what else they got there. But Russia's been there for a while. See, so it's not like they gotta call Russia and Russia has to. All right, hey, we're gonna go down there. Russia's already there. You know, so this thing's gonna get heated up. You know, and another reason why I wanted to go into this topic is because of also that these wars, being brewed up. Remember that tension between Venezuela and America is getting hot. You know, there might be another new war between the U.S. and Nigeria. Okay, that's just starting. You got Russia sending out, remember that nuclear Poseidon? It's a nuclear powered submarine that creates tidal waves. Imagine that, just you wipe out cities like that. Also EMP. That's what I wanted to kind of inform you guys out there that China and Russia, they have a lot of they're very advanced, and so is America. But so when they but you can see right now that these nations, they're all, a lot of these major nations around the world, they're all against America, so they're gonna cripple this place, because once America really starts getting attacked, which it is, once this thing, actually, starts hitting the fan, these this place is gonna be crippled by cyber attacks and EMPs, electric magnetic pulse. So these stars, power is everything right here in America, and America's power grid is not that hard to hack. You know, you know. Shoot, there's information out there that China literally has like a shut off switch to this place. You know, because remember, China is a major threat to America because China knows, China is always with America. You know, they're always right there together. But now that they're becoming enemies, it's a very dangerous thing for America. Why is that? Because China knows America inside out. You know, you got people. They got Chinese in their military. There's a lot of spies here, agents. So man, China is a very major threat because they know America inside out. You know, backwards and front. You see, so in this place, so power, two major things that are gonna, devastate this place is when they cut off the food supply. But that's, more kind of like a martial law. But once these, because remember, Russia and China, they are gonna invade America heavy, in a major way. It's major. All right, because remember, it's not just martial law, and they're gonna shut off the how we're gonna eat food and civil unrest. No, remember, Russia and China are gonna invade this place, big time. And remember, there's already a lot of sleeper cells already here. So this place is it's finished. It just got to play its course. But America's already surrounded on all sides. It's finished. It's finished. It don't matter how sad somebody gets, how mad. It's surrounded. It's complete. It's finished. Because once this thing gets going, it's completely through. And power is gonna completely devastate this place. Because when you think about your everyday lives, starting with your laptops, your phones, your news, your TV, your Wi-Fi. All right, a lot of people use the Wi-Fi and internet to get paid. Because a lot of people do businesses online. You want to see, okay, what's going on. You need to search directions. All right, imagine when people do deliveries, they gotta know, okay, hey, where's this person's direction? All right, a lot of places, restaurants, you have to order. All that stuff stops. Okay, Grubhub. Okay, all that stuff, all these online orders, all that stops. Phones, communications. Okay, emergency, fire trucks, policemen, because EMP will shut down all these cars. No vehicles are gonna work. Okay, no gas, because you can't pump gas into these vehicles. Because you need power to pump the fuel, the gas, and the diesel. So once this place, America, is hit by EMP, which it will, real soon, it'll devastate this whole place. because everything here is ran by power. All these cars, okay, all these light signals, okay, your cell phones. All right, imagine all the chaos that's gonna happen at these restaurants because they need power to keep all their food going. You know, they need power for you to order your meal. A lot of people pay with their debit card or Apple Pay, so all that's going out the window. Imagine it'll be complete. Uh, it'll be complete. You know, terror on in this land. You know, everything. Imagine there's no power out here. You know, you won't even be able to know what's going on in the next city because your phone won't work. You know, you won't be able to watch the news. You're just gonna be left out here. See? So, man, that power, everything in your house won't work. Your lights, your toilet, your sink, your bathtub, your shower, your gas, you know, to cook up something in the stove, your refrigerator, whatever you have in your refrigerator, you only got so long before all that meat, and stuff goes bad. Yeah, it's a very serious ordeal right here, you know. So, and that's something that's gonna happen in a major way, in a major way. Say Matthew chapter 24, verse 6 on down. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. That means rumors means reports. This is what we're seeing. These wars are just nonstop. America just a few days ago they tested one of their ICBMs. All right, because it's nonstop now. It's it's nonstop with these nations, because it's not just North Korea. It's, remember, because once these nations start, it's only a matter of time before these nations get real mad. These powerful nations, starting with America, Russia, China, North Korea, NATO. Once they start, once this thing starts to escalate, and once and they're already starting to bring out their big toys. Once they start to use it, these nations are going to use their toys, because once somebody uses one, then another nation is going to use theirs, and then it's just, you can see the domino effect, the escalation, because once somebody uses, like a big weapon, then the other nation, they're going to have no choice. Well, we're going to have to bring out ours too, so it's just going to be total devastation out here. You imagine? You see, so you can tell that we are right here. That this is it. We are at the end of our enemy's rulership. You can tell, because these things are not slowing down. It's only a matter of time before they press the big button. So remember, that chip has to be made mandatory, which is right here, because that digital ID is already being made in effect, different places around the world. So that's that's coming into fruition, which is going to bring the RFID chip, which is the MOTB, and that's it. And these wars just are going to escalate. Once America has that draft, we go through martial law. We're here. Yahweh Shai is going to show up. So we don't got too much longer here at all. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all these things, it has to happen for prophecy's sake. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, with clearly what you're seeing right now. All right, and there shall be famines, because right now, SNAP benefits being cut off. How people are, how am I going to eat? It's going to happen. Remember that. All right, so not only is the Lord going to starve you out, he's using the leaders to starve out the wicked. This is why you're seeing what you're seeing. It's called judgment and pestilence. There's a lot more coming. Like you have the list. There's actually right there in Trader Joe's. There was like a pasta or something that the other day, that was reported yesterday, that I think 6 people already died, and a lot of people are getting sick from. I think there was like a pasta at Trader Joe's that 6 people died. Because it gave them that pestilence, listeria. So that's just something else to show you. And Trader Joe's is a pretty good, like a high, like a nicer, grocery store. That just goes to show you, this food is gonna be plagued as well. So if there is food out here, the Lord's gonna plague it. So those that say, "Oh yeah, well we got food," the Lord can plague that, where you actually you eat that food and you die. That's what's happening right now. You got people eating, like oysters and seafood, and they're dying because there's like flesh, bacteria, flesh eating disease out there. That they live in these flesh eating bacteria. They live in these, like in the clams and oysters. You eat it, and then you die because it eats like your insides. You know? Yeah, we're in judgment. So a lot of people, once they do have food, like, oh, I finally found some food. If you eat that, some of that's gonna have, it's gonna be plagued. That when you eat something and you die, you know, yeah. So that's why those who are not part of the hopeful elect, there's no escape out here, you know, because the food that is gonna be available out here, a lot of it's gonna be plagued where you can't even eat it. The Lord did the same thing to ancient Egypt. All right, you know. Remember that, their food, they couldn't eat it. All their water, remember, was turned into blood red, so they couldn't even drink their water. So remember, the food that is available out here is going to be plagued. Not all of it, but who knows? Who knows how the Lord is going to do it. Remember, so meaning there's no escape. So a lot of people want to say, well, we got food over here and this and that. The Lord will plague that. So where you eat it, you die. Okay, let's say you have a whole garage full of snacks and water. The Lord can turn that all into maggots where you can't even eat it. The Lord will do that. The Lord can actually make all that stuff disappear by by a snap of his fingers. For those of you preppers out there. Okay, remember the Lord has the wicked surrounded on all sides. They think, oh yeah, I got an underground bunker, but food for 15 years. The Lord can just plague all that, where you can't even eat that. Remember, the Lord did the same thing to ancient Egypt. You know, so you peons out there, you guys think that, oh yeah, it's all right. These end times coming, we're ready. No, you're not. If you're not good with the Lord, you're not going anywhere. You may survive a little longer than your neighbor, but you're not going anywhere. Remember, if you're not part of the hopeful elect, you will die out here. And this is what, you peons and you simpletons are about to find out. You guys, put the Most High in a box. You think that, oh yeah, it's fine. We got this. We're okay. No, you're not. All right, and you guys are about to find that out. So that goes to you preppers out there who are not part of the hopeful elect. You guys got all, underground, what, food and weapons and all that. The Lord can just totally get rid of all that. He can plague all that. All your canned goods and all that, where you can't even eat it. Yeah. So not only is the food and resources going to be cut off out here, okay, but the Lord can plague it, where you can't even eat it. Yeah. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdoms, what we're clearly seeing, and there shall be famines and pestilence. See, famines, which will clearly come. You can see right now. Pestilence. You got flesh-eating disease out there. More of the pandemic, the COVID-19, spreading. You have the listeria out there, okay? And earthquakes. You just had a massive earthquake the other day, okay? I believe, what was it? What was it out there in Afghanistan or something like that? Okay, in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So yeah, let's check it out. Let me see here. Bear with me. Let me go to this crux here. Let me see, because let me just get it real fast. Where's my news here? You had the that's nonstop here. This is for those of you in the faith. This crux news is pretty good. Because it shows us what is going on around the world. Let's see here. Damn, where's that? Let's see if I can find it. This Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on around the world. Oh, right here. Yeah, it was Afghanistan. See, it's 6.3 magnitude in Afghanistan, you know? Yeah. Just to show you guys out there, you know, what's going on. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on around the world, you know? Like Apostle Har said, if you can't, yeah, if you can't, if you miss one day, you miss a lot. There's a whole lot going on around the world. A whole lot. You know, it just shows you right there. You know, it's nonstop. You know, it's nonstop. You see, so that's something that is very very heavy. You know, because the Lord is jacking this place up. But why is that? Oh, right here. See, look there it is, right there. Check it out. Remember saying that Donald Trump made that comment right here. Donald Trump said that he can blow up the world 150 times. See? Trump flaunts enough nukes to blow up the world 150 times. There it is. See? But that's just showing you that there is that many nuclear warheads out there. So it ain't like, okay, well, they got 5 or there's 3 of them out there. No, there's a whole lot out there. Okay, there's a whole lot out there to show you that World War III is gonna be total devastation, total annihilation. Okay, but to the wicked, the righteous are gonna be in good hands. All right. Yeah, that's all. That's all that you see. You know, this is all that you see. Just wars and rumors of wars. You know, look at Pakistan is testing nukes, so Pakistan got nukes. That's all you're seeing. Why? Because the Lord is getting ready to launch these missiles. It's a part of judgment. That's why all you hear is about nuclear conversations. You know, it's a very, very. Look at that. U.S. readies nuclear missile test report. See, it's nonstop. You know, just to show you that the Lord's gonna. It's only a matter of time before He has these nations. Um, before He has these nations. Press that button. You see. So with that's it on today's lesson. That's it on today's lesson. Keep fighting. You know, keep fighting. Stay in the spirit and stay locked in. There's a whole lot going on. But that's just to show you that these wars, it's not dying down. They're just escalating. So with that's it on today's lesson. And stay in the spirit, stay in tune. And just don't let all these events going around the world, have you shaken in heart and mind. Remember, the Lord said, do not fear. These things had to happen, but the Lord said He's gonna comfort the elect. He's gonna be with you guys. You see, and Lord willing, myself, if I'm part of that number, see, so that's what we're hoping for. So with that, you know, stay in the spirit and trust in the Lord, because remember, the Lord controls all these clowns. All right, so when the world gets all nervous and what are we gonna do? Well, we know what the hell we're gonna do. We're gonna put our trust in the Lord. I don't know about you clowns. Remember all these heathens that survived World War III. All of these goofballs are going to slavery. All of them, every last one of them. Okay, the leaders of Russia, the leaders of China, the leaders of North Korea, King Charles. Okay, that queer. Okay, all you clowns, all you heathens are going to slavery. See, all of you. Yep, that's right. The Hebrew Israelites got next. See, but the Lord is gonna have all of our enemies, duke it out and fight each other. Then Yahweh Shai is gonna come and slap chains on them, and make them go to work and make them clean up this planet. You see? All right. So with that, stay in the spirit. Shalom on your feet, soldier.